3, 2, 1. Hello, this is Bill Bullard with RCAF USA, the voice of the independent cattle producer in the United States of America. Well, as you know, President Trump is taking aggressive steps to stop foreign countries from engaging in unfair trading practices that is harming our U.S. economy. And in particular, President Trump is focused on China because China has been caught stealing the intellectual properties from our U.S.-based manufacturers. And of course, that is wrong. And what is also wrong is the fact that our U.S. Department of Agriculture is allowing transnational agribusinesses to steal the trademark from America's cattle ranchers. The trademark, of course, is the product of USA label, and USDA is allowing these transnational corporations to affix that product of USA label even on beef that is exclusively born and raised in foreign countries. That, of course, is wrong as well. And that's why RCAF USA is reinstating a campaign to bring back country of origin labeling. And our biggest champion right now is Tomi Lahren. Tomi Lahren is a commentator for Fox News, and she recently did a final thought segment talking about the need to reinstate country of origin labeling. And there has been nearly 1 million views of that short segment that Tomi did. Now, if you want to watch that segment, you can Google Bring Back Country of Origin Food Labeling Fundly, F-U-N-D-L-Y. That's Bring Back Country of Origin Food Labeling Fundly. If you Google that, you will find our kickoff campaign to reinstate country of origin labeling, and you can watch Tomi Lahren's final thought segment on Cool. Now, in addition to that, we're preparing a one-pager right now to bring back to the White House, and this one-pager is designed to refute the myths that the meatpacking lobby are using in order to suppress support for country of origin labeling. For example, they say that we can't have Cool because the United States cannot disregard the World Trade Organization ruling that said that country of origin labeling was discriminating against Canadian and Mexican cattle. Well, that's not true because in other cases that the United States lost at the WTO, the U.S. immediately began a diplomatic negotiation in order to resolve the matter outside of the retaliatory tariff threat. But the United States didn't lift a finger to do that for country of origin labeling, so that opportunity is still on the table. In addition to that, the WTO ruling should be disregarded in whole, and that's because of the blatant conflict of interest that existed. As you might recall, the presiding member of the appellate body that ruled against the United States and ruled in favor of Mexico was a gentleman by the name of Ricardo Ramirez Hernandez. He's a Mexican national and an attorney in service to Mexico. And yet, would anyone expect him to rule in any way other than to favor his home country? The other argument that they use is that Cool is unconstitutional. Well, the appellate court in the Washington, D.C. district disagrees, and in 2014 issued a strong opinion stating that country of origin labeling met constitutional muster. And then the meatpacking lobby says Cool harms the American cattle producer because it adds cost to the beef supply chain. Well, now, wait a minute. When we look at when country of origin labeling was fully implemented in the early 2013 to late 2015, cattle producers in the United States received the highest nominal levels for their prices for their cattle in history. In addition to that, USDA data shows that the returns per bred cow for U.S. cattlemen was at the highest level in history during the same time that country of origin labeling was in place. In other words, the revenues over the expenses were the highest in history and clearly benefited independent producers. Another myth is that the meat packers and their lobbies say that all beef is beef regardless of where it was born and raised. Well, we know that's not true. We know that developing countries do not have the same environmental standards, the same food safety standards, and the same production standards that we have in the United States. And besides that, once you put the product of USA label on a beef product, that distinguishes that product from anywhere else in the world, because only that label should denote that the beef product was produced under the United States production regime, and it was produced by the American rancher. With that, we're out of time. We hope you call your member of Congress, urging them to support the reinstatement of country of origin labeling. Thank you, and have a productive week.